Hi, everyone. It's Josh here with another look back as to what happened last week, looking at the markets and how it might impact you in your investments. Well, last week was actually a good week because the tariffs kicked off, which is kind of odd to say, but it shook things up a little bit. And let's see why we say it's a good thing. We were expecting a big tariff showdown earlier in the year that never really happened. He just kicked those down the road. But here in August, as we said on last week's What Just Happened, they went into effect and the market actually kind of said thank you. There was some certainty there. It gave some people some clarity of what they can expect. And right now, I think what the market's expecting is if there's more tariff news, it will only be better because they're probably going lower. Now, it doesn't mean that President Trump is done using tariffs. Like we saw last week, he did with India for their refusal to not buy oil from Russia. But what that's doing is that's getting people to the table to talk to him. At least that's what we're seeing out there. And we should expect probably more like that, trying to get those countries that didn't come to fruition to strike a deal with him. Now, on a side note, this didn't happen last week, but overnight we woke up to the news that the Chinese tariffs have been pushed off another 3 months. We can only assume that there is another more talks going on, that we're coming closer to a deal there. All eyes are on the Federal Reserve. This is more good news with the bad jobs data coming in and President Trump appointing a temporary short-term governor to the board. We are seeing almost a 90% expectation in a 0.25% rate cut at the next meeting in September. But big data coming out this week is the inflation numbers. Our latest inflation numbers come out Wednesday. And if those come in lower than expected, we should probably see an increased expectation of a rate cut. But if they come in higher, that does give Jerome Powell credence to push the rate cut back even farther. So we are keeping our eyes on that. There's a lot of good news out there, but there's things that we're watching out for as well. So with that, I hope you had enjoyed your look back on what just happened, and we'll see you next week.